Hello and how are you? Welcome to the Godfather Minute.
What'd you say?
That was my British accent.
Oh,
Hello, how are you?
oh! I thought you were doing like some weird drop the consonants, like fifth grade language or something.
That's funny you say that because originally I was actually thinking, I should do like Pig Latin or something.
Ah,
So weird that you. Anyway, this is the Godfather Minute. I'm Alex Robinson.
and I'm Andy Robinson.
And together we are the Godfather Minute Brothers, here to talk about minute 91.
Alex,
What?
e minuto, numero 91.
91.
You got it.
I was just about to say, you seem to be anticipating everything I'm going to say this episode so far, but I was going to say that we should eventually get to do a whole episode in sync with each other.
Oh my gosh. How long can we at least try to do that?
Do that.
For? So in this minute
91, the Godfather is... Anyway, so minute 91.
I still don't know the origin of that. I know a few minutes ago we tried to explain why we do the in unison say stuff in real lazy voices.
Well, I think it's supposed to be like replicating like a bunch of like...
A studio audience.
Or some group of people who are going along with like a group thing, either like a Family Feud, they're all reading the answers, like hospital. Yeah, so
Polly.
No, you won't be seeing him.
Oh, you won't see him on the board.
Well, you will be seeing his minute 91, in which we are treated to a montage of newspaper headlines that are a result of Mikey's, the fallout of the Turk shooting Mikey. Montage. So we see four main headlines in this. Police hunt cop killer is first. City cracks down, pressure on organized crime.
Yeah.
Police captain linked with drug rackets.
Oh, it's a great one.
Could be.
Yeah,
could be.
You know who's paying. You know who's on the payroll of that paper.
And of course, mobster Barzini questioned in underworld feud.
That's the great one. He looks pretty relaxed in that photo. That's a front page headline and photo.
Yeah,
and he looks pretty relaxed for a crime family boss who's getting his photo taken.
Or who's getting questioned in an underworld feud.
Yeah. Well, we know how he feels about getting his picture taken.
It's true.
Do you think the person who took the picture was really upfront about it, or was he sort of concealing himself because he knew even with this much heat, Barzini's going to kick some ass?
I think he was clever. He had a fake camera. And then he pretended to be taking a picture of Barzini with the fake camera, and so then when Barzini was breaking it, either the guy had another camera backing up, or there was someone else taking a picture behind him or something.
Oh, that's awesome! How did you know that?
It was in the Godfather epic.
Oh, okay, well, that's some inside information. It sounds like you talked to the photographer of Barzini.
Yeah. Yeah, that headline is almost says, cops speak to Barzini, because it says he has a question. I question Barzini.
That sounded like Tessio there.
Well, in my head, I always think of it as Tessio because that's who I first thought. That's what I first thought you were imitating when you did it. Because he talks to Barzini in the end of the movie to get a deal with.
We talked about Abe Vigoda being pulled in for overtime.
We talked to Barzini. So, those are the big headlines of the day. This montage, edited by George Lucas.
Oh, okay.
When the movie was running, they needed all hands on deck, and his friend George Lucas. You can really tell it really has that Lucas touch in it.
Does it really?
No, I don't know.
I was going to ask if there are any
signature moves.
Yeah, any indications that it was a little Georgie Porgy editing that section.
Oh man, now I'm imagining George Lucas directing The Godfather.
Oh wow.
That would be, because originally
Don Corleone would be like, Fredo, I am your father.
Fredo, I am your father.
I am your father. Because originally George Lucas was going to direct Apocalypse Now. At one point, he was going to do a trilogy of war movies: Star Wars, Apocalypse Now, and some other third war movie, but it never came to pass.
Star Wars was such a flop; it was pretty much
it
done.
It really ruined his career.
Yeah.
It took him like 20 years before he directed another movie.
Oh my gosh!
So
wow.
Well, hopefully we wish him a lot of luck. Hopefully he's doing okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Currently residing in the "Where is he directing now?" file. I wonder. Now you got me thinking about if George Lucas had directed it, how would some of the direction gone? How would some of the lines have been for? I'm just thinking of different characters. Of course, I'm trying to be funny and cross over Star Wars dialogue, but in Godfather voices. Yeah.
The actors.
I just can't recall any iconic lines right now.
Luke, I am your father. He just
But it'd be, Luke, I'm your father. Of course I am.
your father. I'm your father.
Luke, I'm your father. You spend time with your family, Luke?
It's
I don't know who they are.
Well, you better find out because a Jedi who don't spend time with his family can't be a real Jedi.
Well, see, that's actually the opposite because Jedi are discouraged from being friends with their families.
Here he goes. Here he goes, folks.
I guess that's the thing is that like George Lucas strikes me as such a kind of like cold, like unemotional person. Compared like Francis Ford Coppola, like he really seems like he directs from the heart, whereas I feel like George Lucas definitely directs from his brain. You know what I mean? He's very like I don't know. That's how it feels to me.
Oh, interesting.
So,
are you the first person to draw those connections or make those comparisons?
I don't know. I mean, I think the fact that George Lucas is kind of has a reputation as kind of a technology guy, certainly
very droid-like directorial
exactly. It's like
strategies.
Mr. Data directing a movie. So I feel like The Godfather would have suffered under George Lucas's command. As for how Star Wars would have done with Francis Ford Coppola directing it, who knows?
Whoa, yeah, that's a real wild card.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun to imagine.
Yeah. Sorry, I choked up on that one. You can act like a Jedi!
It's pretty good.
I know who would say, was that Ben talking to Luke?
I don't know. That could be a lot of different people. It could be, you'd think it would be Vader talking to Luke because Vader, but Vader doesn't say that. The Don doesn't say that to his son. He says that to
Johnny.
It's to Johnny.
Yeah,
I guess
maybe Uncle Owen would say it to Luke.
Oh, I was going to say Obi-Wan would say it to Luke because they're not related.
Oh, yeah. But maybe, I guess Uncle Owen would say to Luke, like, you can act like a moisture farmer.
Yeah, it should be the opposite. It should be like,
Oh, you go into space and you get prizes for blowing up Death Stars. You can't collect my moisture.
This is bonus content.
This is
stuff.
awesome. This is great.
I see you got all these Jedi ribbons and awards, right? You serve the Force before you serve your family.
If you don't mind, I'm going to speak to Mike and Bocce for a little while.
Go ahead. Wow, this is pretty endless. It's like crossing over the universe.
Bottomless well.
Yeah, fantastic.
So maybe Godfather 4 should be a crossover with Star Wars Episode 9.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we can, maybe if we give George Lucas $100 and 3 square meals a day, he'd do it? He's all out, down and out of work, right?
Wait, would he direct Godfather 4?
Well, we want a combination, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe we need Puzo to write the script. Oh, no, sorry. We'll write the script.
Yeah, we'll write the script.
And then, so who's directing it? George Lucas?
George Lucas is directing.
And we're producing it.
We're producing it.
Yeah.
And we're starring in it.
Uh-huh.
Do you have anything else about Minute 91?
I do, So we haven't talked about the I guess it's still montage, but the characters in the
Oh yeah,
scene.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
other stuff besides just
Yeah,
the
it's
spinning
from-
newspaper headline. Oh, first of all, can I just go back to the newspaper headlines
yeah.
for 1 second? You gotta love the classic like print. I guess that's gonna disappear. The printing press with the papers being delivered, and it's such a classic thing. I wonder what they'll do instead. It'll just be someone like
Yeah.
refreshing a feed. On
What's the modern equivalent to that? Is it someone just
They're like getting a notification. Whoop,
Oh,
attention!
yeah,
Now speak to
that's
Barzini.
I saw an
Like a tweet.
episode of Sherlock. I think it was Sherlock, and it was a few years ago. And there were a bunch of journalists at a news conference, and while they were all there, they all started getting text messages, and
Yeah.
so you heard the popping sounds.
Yeah.
I guess that would be the equivalent.
And I think in that one
Right.
they actually had all the texts.
Yeah,
like,
they start
floating
showing
above
them, yeah.
I'm really fascinated by how new technology is represented in movies.
Yeah.
Like, do you just show someone's face and then cut to a close up of a screen? There's got to be more clever ways to do it, or more efficient ways to do it.
I'm not that clever.
I thought you were the hunted one.
Well, and it'll all be obsolete at some point.
Yeah.
That's the danger of putting some type of technological.
Well, but you could be the one who invents the way that everyone, the first person who did like a voiceover was the first person who, did that. It was the first person to,
Who did an overdub line, you mean?
yeah, or like narration
yeah.
without showing any, so anyway.
It would be great to interview that person. I'd like to talk to that person. You get it? Because that was overdubbed?
Yeah. You didn't say Barzini though, so it didn't.
Oh, okay. It doesn't merit the crowd screaming.
I don't know. I don't want to be a negative. I don't want to be a negative
We don't want to overdo it.
Nick. Anyway, so what were you going to say about the, you said besides the newspaper headlines, there are in fact characters in this scene.
Yeah, so you see a variety of characters. You see
Going to the mattresses.
Going to the mattresses. So my first thought was, okay, they're using these mattresses and they had planned it. Now Paulie was the one driving them around the city to get the mattresses. Do you think Paulie and Clemenza at that time ordering some, hey, we got to make sure the mattresses are clean?
Yeah.
Do you think Paulie got all dirty mattresses anticipating that he would be rubbed out? And maybe he just saved one that was clean and he marked it just in case he survived.
Oh my God.
Sort of way to get them back after assassinating him.
I think that is a brilliant plan. And as such, I think it's beyond Paulie's pay grade.
Yeah, he's not that clever.
He really isn't that clever.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get a cold. Sorry, guys. Like,
Yeah.
he had to know what was coming.
Yeah.
I also like that he's like, I'll probably be assassinated. I'll still go along with their driving around. But I'm going to pick him out dirty mattresses as my
Well, it's an
revenge from
insurance
beyond
policy.
the grave.
It's an insurance policy. As he's that split second he's dying, he can have the last laugh knowing that Fat Clemens is going to get bed bugs.
Do you think they had to go back to? Do you think they drove away and then they were like, oh, they had to drive back and like get the receipt out of his like the invoice out of his pocket, the blood.
Oh, you mean once they
invoice.
realized after the scene in minute 91 where they realized they were bed bug infested mattress, then they went back to get the receipt?
He's still there.
Can you imagine they actually had to put another spy into the Tattaglia and Barzini families just to find out where Paulie was buried so they can get the
Oh wow!
receipt?
They buried him in the suit that he was wearing when he got.
That was Lucas' going to be his second job as a spy.
Do you think when I'm just going to talk about Paulie again? When his family found out that he was dead? Were they all like, oh my gosh, now we also have to pay for the funeral? Because I assume if you die while you're under the employ of the Corleones, that they probably pay for your like a funeral or chip in for
probably,
your funeral,
yeah.
funeral expenses.
Yeah.
So, but Paulie,
Yeah, he was on no man's land, traitor
he
territory.
was,
no one's
although I
gonna-
guess maybe that was part of the Barzini deal. Maybe when he talked to Barzini, he said, "Hey, part of my deal has to be." Sweet tomato, I want a bag of small bills. And also I want you to pay for my funeral.
Make me one of those Barzini bargains. Bargainzini. Come on down to Bargainzini.
All our gently used cameras are for sale.
It would be Bargainzinis.
There you go.
Like in like Queens Boulevard.
Yeah.
Like some
99-cent store
retail
kind of
shop.
thing.
Yeah. So you see a lot of characters and you see...
Cheech.
Oh, I didn't notice Cheech in that
Cheech is
scene.
watching while Mr. Coppola is playing the piano.
Oh, cool.
So
Excellent. That's right. And we had said earlier it's Francis Ford Coppola's father.
I don't know if we
piano.
did say that. I
Maybe
think
we
this is
just
the first
talked about
time.
it. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's
It's his real bio father, right?
his bio dad.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really playing the piano. That's a real family affair, these movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Any other, you see, I think you see, not Neary, the other guy.
Rocco?
Rocco.
Yeah,
you
you
see
see
him
Rocco.
camping out.
Yeah, he was the one who killed Polly. Don't forget.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how he got made.
Yeah, that's why he's allowed to go to the mattresses with all of them. You do. So you see Clemenza sitting on one of the mattresses at one point, and I had a thought about Clemenza. He seemed to look a little bit sad, and I think I know why. You want to take a guess?
Is he sad because he misses Polly?
No, I think he's sad because the only other guy who knows how to cook for 30 guys, which is Mikey, is not there.
Oh, it's like a Twilight Zone episode. No, but there was time.
Clemenza's like, hey, Mikey, come cook for... Oh, no.
He's like, well, you know what I'll do? I'll teach Sonny. He'll be able to cook for all the guys.
Oh, it's like the curse. Everyone he cooks, anyone he teaches to cook dies.
That's funny.
I got some other stuff.
Sure, let's hear it. Sock it to
This
me.
has more to do with your fan. You know, you have a lot of fans out there, Alex, and they want to know who is the real Alex Robinson.
Is the real Alex Robinson?
So the question is,
I think they want to know that, but I don't think they really do want to know.
I think they
that.
want to know.
Okay, go ahead. Proceed.
I want to know. So the question is, in this in minute 91, you
Is
see
there an Inquirer commercial?
inquiring minds want to know.
But wasn't it something like, who's been setting Hollywood aflame with going out every night? I want to know.
Oh, it was,
And
yeah.
it was like they showed different slobs saying that they wanted to know all these different Inquirer headlines. Yeah. there you
I think
go.
that's a great ad campaign.
Yeah, I'm remembering it 30 years later.
Yeah, and it's also putting the words in your mouth. Like, I want to know. It's kind of getting you to say that.
Right. You watch it, I want to know. Just repeat along with whatever you hear.
I want to know.
Anyway, what are this other information you have?
So before I get to that, now I want to say when I said I want to know, I was crossing Inquirer with Star Wars.
With him saying,
you
I
catch
care.
that? Yeah,
I
with
care.
saying,
Oh,
I
yeah,
care.
yeah. I got it
Yeah.
from the tone.
Yeah.
I want to know.
So you're so in
Tatooine Inquirer, the Mos Eisley Inquirer.
this. Yeah. Do you think on Tatooine they have the Mos Eisley Inquirer written in bocce?
The extent of why Aunt Peru is interested in bocce, it has never been satisfactorily explained to me. Anyway, so what's the other information?
Now I'm purposely trying to cross over to Star Wars as much as possible. So your fans want to know, in minute 91, we see a lot of gangsters just kind of sitting around, passing time, playing cards, playing piano, eating, chilling out, sleeping. Pinochle. So your fans want to know, if you were one of those guys, what would you spend your time doing?
Oh, I would love it, first of all.
No internet access, Alex?
You make it sound like it's a bad thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
So what would you do? You got 12 hours.
12
hours in a room. You can't leave the room. You're in the mattresses.
I would read and draw. Those are the two things I would do.
Okay.
And listen to Edgar Bergen on the radio.
Who's Edgar Bergen?
He was a popular radio star. Which
Okay.
I assume that the radio would have been big in 1946. Listen to the radio.
Well, what would you have been reading at the time? Remember, this is the 40s.
Oh, that's right.
So you don't have all the cool...
Everyone talks all...
Yeah. And your drawings at that point, it would probably just be all political cartoons related to the rackets.
Although the 40s was a much better time for American comic strips than today. So there would have been great comics to read at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have developed a comedy routine.
You mean me and Clemenza were stuck in the room? We're like,
just might as well work on an act.
I bet if I was the head of the crime family, I would say, hey, listen, to make this thing go a little, we all can go a bit stir crazy. At the end of the mattress period, we're going to have a talent show. So everyone should develop a talent, do so, come up with an act, a buddy routine, a juggling comedy, and then when Don comes back, everyone will put on a show for him.
Oh, that's a great idea. I feel like you just missed it. So all of the families are at war now.
All in the Family?
And so when at the end of the experience, they should have, so the Corleones have a talent show, a contest, and whoever wins then goes to the next round, and all the 5 families send their best act, and then there's a competition. And then maybe that's how they even settle the war.
That's true. Yeah, I like this. Entertainment decides the... Yeah. Well, Tattaglia would have some nice-looking ladies working for him. So,
what do you think would be his talent act?
I think it would maybe be some kind of striptease where a woman comes out all wearing balloons and she gradually pops them.
Wait, so is he in it at all?
No, he's just supervising. You think the head of the family?
I think, yeah, let's just say the family or the next in line.
Sidebar: are all crime lord guys called Don?
Probably.
Don Tattaglia and Don Barzini?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
I think in the
Don
upcoming
Cuneo.
scene we see that. Yeah.
Not Mo Green, though. He's
That's
not
a title of respect.
It's funny that Mo Green gets included in the revenge sequence in the end. Because like all the other people are New York crime guys. They're all like local guys.
That's true, yeah.
Local bosses. So for Mo Green to show up in that montage, it seems like it's elevating him from... I mean, there's not even a statue or a plaque for him there. So
Maybe they quickly constructed one just to give them a reason to
like to show
kill
what a
him.
big shot he was.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't even get to see it. Yeah. Hyman Roth's like, technically he had a plaque, but he didn't get to see it.
That's why he put on his glasses when the door... Someone was supposed to be bringing up the plaque to show him. And he's like, is it my plaque?
So do you think he's Don Mo or Don Green?
Don Green.
He'd be Don Green.
Yeah, because they don't say Don Vito. They say Don Corleone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vito. Maybe they do say Don Vito at times though. They might. A few people might say it.
Maybe.
Don Vito.
Maybe if you're in an informal relationship.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
Talia definitely calls him Don Corleone.
Yeah. I think you hear that most
Yeah.
often. Any other ideas for what the crime family heads would do themselves for talent shows?
So, well, if you're saying they have to do the actual talent, that's totally different. 'Cause
Let's
then
say
it's-
that.
Okay.
Don Corleone drinks tons of Sanka.
No, you know what Don Corleone would do? He'd turn around and then he'd look forward and he would have the orange feel in his mouth. Everyone in the audience would be like, "Ah!"
And then they'd laugh.
And they all start spraying him with DDT. It's like murdering him.
It's like a Rocky Horror Godfather show. He comes with the orange and they start spraying him with cans. That's good. What would Barzini do? I don't know if I've seen any talents. Maybe
I guess he would direct people. He would be more like the guide who shows people which cameras to beat up.
Oh yeah.
In the he goes around telling everyone's like, "Is this his act? This is terrible."
Yeah.
So
Tatali's pimp. He would just come with a bunch of ladies.
Yeah.
And,
Cuneo is impressionist.
oh,
He's like, I now like to do my Marlon Brando.
you read between the lines. That's what started the war of the 5 families. Don't call it.
Why did you disrespect me? I don't sound like that.
So because you think that's what I sound like?
Why don't you, Santino, why don't you ever tell me?
You're all that's what you sound like.
That's what I sound like. What could I do? What could I do?
It would be funny if the Dons started getting all upset, and then the other Dons will give act like a man.
They smack him.
Yeah, an impression. It's weak. So,
What else you got?
Newspaper headlines.
Okay.
I made a note of the other newspaper headlines that are going on during this time because it was an exciting time in New York City history.
Okay.
So here are some of the other headlines we saw. Hospital fund reaches goal. Buildings to start next month.
Which hospital's that?
I can't read.
Was that French hospital where Don Corleone was laid up?
No, they're going to start building the hospital.
Oh, okay.
So,
Interesting.
yeah. You don't remember that month that they built the hospital in New York?
I was just a little kid.
Well, maybe this one. How about this one? Bids given on bridge project.
Oh, that's a little bit more
Take
in
you
our
back,
territory. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Bridge bids.
here's a good one. Woman found dead. Exciting. Fire murder victim.
Ooh.
So does that mean they killed her by lighting the building on fire? Or did they kill her and then light the building on fire to disguise their footprints?
I'm thinking the latter. Right.
You think that one?
Yeah.
That would really be a bad way to kill someone. But like, how would you, I guess you'd have to tie them up and then burn the house down around them. But even then you couldn't be sure that they didn't like get out or
Yeah, you can be sure.
you think so? You want to, don't you have to stand there and watch though the whole time?
I don't know. I think the smoke would kill someone first. Right?
think so?
Most people in fires die from the smoke and not the fire.
But you would leave them conscious in the room.
Is this being recorded? Where are we going with this?
We're just saying.
We went from talent shows and impressions to how are you going to kill and dispose of this body, my brother?
I'm just saying, on May 15th, where were you?
Last May 15th?
This coming May 15th.
This coming May 15th, I don't know where I will be, but
interesting.
but I will have an alibi.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk to Barzini.
Woo! Does it work if it's in the future tense? I'll talk to Barzini.
I'm talking to Barzini.
Oh, yeah.
He's like on the other line.
Hold on. I'm talking to Barzini.
That would be funny to do Godfather lines, but change the context and see if how you can make them work in other contexts.
In other contexts within the Godfather?
Well, whatever.
Anytime.
Do someone saying I talked to Barzini in another Godfather context, ideally, because
Yeah. But I guess it's funnier if it's in a different context. Right?
Yeah.
Like unrelated to the Godfather, using the line verbatim, but not in a Godfather context.
Ideally in a Godfather context, but any way it can work.
Okay.
So, so he's like, Luke, I talked to Barzini. Like that. That kind of a thing.
I'm thinking of Yoda.
You're always thinking of Yoda.
I always start coughing when I do my Yoda. I can't do a good Yoda, but there are a lot of opportunities. Time with your family you spend?
You do it so, do it again.
Luke, time with your family you spend?
You're making me cough.
I can't do it. I can never do it. I do it. I don't know how I'm doing it, but it's the only way I can get that Kermit Yoda sound out. You try it. Pick a different line though.
Okay.
Don't steal my line.
What was your line again?
Mine was Luke, spend time with your family. You do.
Okay. There you go. Luke, spend time with your family. You do.
Oh, that's great.
You
Stole my line though.
Oh,
Say a different line.
Polly, spend time with your family. You do. So I know you can do a better Yoda than that.
Can you just want me to choke again?
No, because
think.
I know you do voices. Can you do like Grover?
Talk me through it.
Can you do Grover?
What does Grover say?
Hello, everybody.
I can't do that one. Hello, everybody.
Well, there you go. So now you're getting closer to it.
Hello. Even that's hard. I think I have adenoids or some weird.
Huh.
Yeah.
No,
So I also can't sing for very long. After I sing a little while, I'm all just throat and can't do it.
What are you saying?
I really was not setting myself up for that line. Voice, weak my voices. Godfather, weak my voices.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
That's all I got. Anything else for this minute?
The only thing I made a note of the newspapers. One last thing, calling back to the newspapers, because these are all real newspapers.
Okay.
They're all genuine newspapers.
I wouldn't call the Inquirer a real newspaper, Alex.
I want to know. There was the most interesting one was the Sun, which ran from 1833 to 1950.
Wow.
It is a breakthrough newspaper in a lot of ways. It cost 1 penny when it came out.
Woo.
It was the first newspaper aimed at like common regular people. So it reported on stuff because before that, so they were also the first newspaper to hire reporters, because prior to that, they would just get news submitted by readers who were like, there were a horse ran amok the other day on, Clifton Street or whatever.
So that was the original Wikipedia.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Sort of just crowdsourced information. Very cool.
But so they were the first paper to do that, and because they were appealing to a lower, common working people.
You can say it, lower class.
You said that. I didn't say that.
Well, come on, you're waving your arms when you said that.
I was pinching my nose, like, ugh, stinky.
Listeners, he was winking too with both eyes.
So they were the first. They started. There was a lot of emphasis on like violent crimes and scandals and stuff. In fact, they were the first newspaper to report a suicide.
Whoa!
Of just a regular person, as opposed to like the king has killed himself or
first
whatever.
Paper in America.
If this said the first paper in the world to do that, the Wikipedia said that, but you can't. This is all submitted by readers, so who knows what's going on.
Right. Oh, interesting. Wow, that's over 100 years. That's amazing.
Yeah, 117 years. In 1950, they merged with the New York World Telegram, one of the other papers that we saw in the montage. So they only have 4 more years before they merge. There was the Daily Mirror, ran from 1924 to 1963. When it closed in 1963 after a newspaper strike. Although, weirdly, at the time, it was the second highest circulation of any newspaper in possibly the country, in New York City.
Interesting.
So isn't that weird that the second biggest paper could go out of business like that?
Oh, boy, yeah.
It's too big to fail, huh?
Yeah, even back then, the kids were moving on to apps and leaving hard copy papers aside.
Oh, the last detail is that the Daily Mirror is the same newspaper Mikey read when he found out that they didn't say whether he was still alive or not.
Yeah, I remember that. So, I recall that now.
There you go. Well, newspapers playing a big part.
Yeah, very cool.
You think that's what gave Mikey the idea for the to plant the story about the crooked cop, seeing like how information was massaged?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's very possible. I can't remember what the headline was when Don Corleone had been shot. Was it like
local gangland guy feared
like
murdered?
Local mob boss feared murder, something like that?
Let me see. I'm sure I can find it in my book.
So I have a question for you, Alex, because if anyone's going to answer this, you are.
I am.
Is The Godfather the first movie in which you have this newspaper type montage? Or is that their precedent in old movies?
Yeah, if anything, I was going to say it's probably the last movie.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's an old one. I remember it even in cartoons.
Yeah, it was. That's a tale as old as time.
Yeah,
Flash.
extra.
Yeah, this is finally this is like the crossover of our headline segment that we do for the bonus content.
For those who support us through our support page, you know that we typically do headlines during the bonus content, but I don't know. That would be too meta. I don't think we're going to do that this bonus content.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Alex, tell the listeners what we are going to do this bonus content today.
We are going to talk about 3 different movies. Mm-hmm. One of them called
Star Wars,
of course. This Thing of Ours. The Last Don 2.
Yep.
And I saw a movie called Mutiny on the Bounty, which I will be talking about.
Whoa, okay.
I can't buy tops of the pencils.
Oh, the original with Marlon Brando.
Oh, it's not the original, but it is.
Oh,
that was a remake, actually.
Hasn't it been remade a bunch?
I think only those 2 times, actually. It seems like something that there's been a lot of those kind of movies. So it's due for a remake.
We'll talk about all of them.
Yeah, if you want to hear that, go to... you know what we didn't do?
What?
We were going to debut the new Countdown song today.
Oh my gosh, we almost forgot.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it.
You'll fade out with that, so that'll...
instead of our usual... Because we don't even have a sign-off.
That's true. Why don't we end it with we'll play the theme, and then those of you who are joining us for the bonus content will come back.
I do want to read from the book, because there's a little bit in the book that is not in the movie.
It's different
and
than the
it's
movie.
the immediate aftermath of Mikey having killed
Okay.
McCluskey and Sollozzo. You ready?
Sock it to me.
Page 152, Puzo writes, on the day after the murder of Sollozzo and Captain McCluskey, the police captains and lieutenants in every station house in New York City sent out the word there would be no more gambling, no more prostitution, no more deals of any kind until the murderer of Captain McCluskey was caught.
Can you read that in a Sunny type voice? No more
Sure.
deals, no more gambling.
There'll be no more gambling, no more prostitution, no more deals of any kind, Sonny, until the murderer of Captain McCluskey was caught. So just think about that. Is that what you wanted, Alan?
Well, I wanted you to do Sunny that because Sunny's the one
who
who
was
says
I
no.
doing?
You were doing Tom Hagen.
Oh, okay.
But that's fine.
gosh.
Because
I'll
Sonny
do
has that whole
Sonny,
thing
yeah.
about no more meetings, no more deals, no more meetings.
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of characters have that in The Godfather. For example, there'll be no more gambling, no more prostitution, no more deals. And I've had deals all over the world.
Prostitution lessons, gambling lessons.
That wasn't enough time, Michael.
Let's see. Puzo writes, massive raids began all over the city. All unlawful business activities came to a standstill,
What the fuck?
which is what they predicted.
Sorry, did I just say that? Did I just drop the
I'll
F-bomb?
beep it out.
Okay.
I'll beep it out. Later that day, an emissary from the families asked the Corleone family if they were prepared to give up the murderer. They were told that the affair did not concern them. Oh.
Wait. When they say the affair did not concern them, do you mean them meaning the Corleones or them meaning like the other families?
I originally interpreted it as it didn't concern the Corleones.
Yeah.
In other words, they knew nothing about it,
Yeah.
but I kind of like the other interpretation. Like,
This doesn't concern you. Mind your own business, Cuneo.
Yeah.
You stay out of this. Go home and spend time with your family, all right?
You have to let us draw water from the well.
When have I refused an accommodation?
accommodation refused. I have not.
Sacrifices you make for this
Oh
program.
my gosh. Okay, let me wrap this up then. Give up the. They were told that the affair did not concern them. That night, a bomb exploded in the Corleone family mall in Long Beach, thrown from a car that pulled up to the chain, then roared away. Remember they had that chain?
Yeah,
At
that's
least,
right.
and remember a long time ago we were asking ourselves, "Oh, what good would that chain do?" I guess it worked. They couldn't get
Yeah.
that close. That night, also 2 button men of the Corleone family were killed as they peaceably ate their dinner in a small Italian restaurant in Greenwich Village. The 5 families' war of 1946 had begun.
He doesn't say anything about how the veal was at that Italian restaurant.
It's in the footnotes.
Okay.
Yeah, it says it's the finest in New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And so that's actually Puzo putting it in the footnotes.
Well, so is that implying that Louis closed after the big shooting? It kind of ruined them. So now they're like, oh, now who's the best veal in New York?
Yeah, if this were an online book in the year we're recording this, there would be a link, and you click on it, would take you to the most current, greatest veal in New York.
I wish books really did that.
Can you not get links on books? I don't read. I don't read digital books.
Not to the extent. Well, I don't know. I guess with the Kindle you can. But anyway,
Yeah.
talk about this off the air. It's not. It's not neither here nor there.
And finally, about the book, this actually ends within the book 1.
Oh,
So we've officially ended book 1, which you and I have been saying that this really is the end of the first act.
yeah.
So I think there might be 3 books,
3 books.
or maybe 2. I'll have to check. We'll see.
All right.
So let's rate it.
Well, your post Turk shooting. How many minutes has it been since we shot the Turk?
Just 1 minute, Alex. Just 1 minute. 1 minute ago.
Okay, I got my rating.
I got mine too, I think. You ready?
1, 2, 3. 1 star.
Well, does 1 mean bad?
Well, I mean, out of all the minutes,
That's a
in The
dumb question. I'm
Godfather.
sorry. I take it back. Let's do it again.
You thought one was the best.
Try one. That's the best in the rating system.
5 stars and it's still around.
I completely punted that. 5 stars and it's still around. 1 star and it's still around.
All right.
Hey, if Don Corleone, if you can still be in business after a 1-star rating, te saludo.
Like they're dealing with their Yelp. I believe in America. Then they give me a bad review on Yelp. They were laughing. All right.
Oh, wait, what's the other Yelp and what's the other big one? TripAdvisor. I guess it would be. Some of your Yelp reviews would bottom out. All our loyal customers would run for cover. So just thinking about that.
All right. So.
Oh, well, I want to redo my rating.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
Here we go. You ready?
Okay, ready? Okay, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Yeah. I do want to appreciate it for what it is. It's an interesting minute.
Yeah, and it's definitely different than any of the other minutes. There's no other things like this. You get to see Coppola. You get to see Cheech and Coppola's father in the same shot. You can see Clemenza sitting on a mattress on the floor.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the long term too. We went from a 5-star minute to a 3. I think there's a trend emerging here, Alex.
We'll see.
So how about the Causeway Countdown?
How about it? So you
Let's
want
just
to
lay it
play?
on.
You want to play us out?
Yeah, let's just play it out on the Causeway Countdown. For those of you that have not subscribed through to support us through godfatherminute.com/support. Is that it? Mm-hmm. We played in the bonus content last week the much anticipated Causeway Countdown. It's actually called officially Pay the Final Toll, parentheses, the Causeway Countdown, close parentheses. So here it is.
Pachenko, you're stuck with Hagen. The lobster might not even be in the car, Sonny. But he's righteous dealers, hot, lots of money he'll be making. A lot of money now, white brother. Go see, home. Made a big mistake, should have kept your mouth shut.
Sonny was hot for my deal. You can't talk business with him.
And Carlo made a mess, now you gotta clean it up. Now clean it up! Pop's in a coma, Fredo's losing his mind. Where the hell is Luca? You are out of time. Tick tock, we're counting down every day. What can I do? To get to Carlo, gotta make it through the causeway.
Sonny on the causeway.
Listen to me, you better listen to Clemenza's wife.
Don't forget the cannoli.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay the final toll with your life.